Welcome back to The Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we are still exploring. Last time we explored all the areas outside Crossbell City. At least all I could think of to have something there. So today we go to Crossbell City. And continue there. Good, apparently we start on West Street. Hey, thanks for coming. I baked a loaf of my newest bread. Just for you guys, help yourselves. Final stretch. Wow, this smells amazing. And it looks delicious too. I know, right? It's my latest and greatest. I figured you all could use it with how hard you've been working. Maybe it'll give you that last bit of energy you need to power through. I hope so, Oscar. Thank you. All I ever wanted was for people from all around to enjoy our bread, and that goes double right now. Obviously, there's only so much I can do as a baker. I'm no hero after all. But still, I hope our food can help put our customers' fears to rest, if even just a little. If I plan on outdoing Oscar, I'm going to have to bake every kind of bread imaginable to make everyone happy. Still, I know I'm lagging behind him when it comes to my actual results. As much as it makes me want to hurl, I'm not going to improve unless I suck it up and take some advice from him. Nothing brightens my day like a visit to Morg's bakery. It's like I was born to eat their bread. I'm going to buy enough for the whole family before I return home. Oh yeah, Shiruru let me know she was leaving on another trip right away. I hope she'll be alright. My highways have been pretty dangerous lately. Yeah, we found her at Tangram Gate. So far she's fine. The government didn't ration out nearly enough wheat to produce the standard of bread we hold ourselves to. But at least we can get fresh ingredients from America again, now that the travel restrictions have been lifted. I'm going to need Oscar and Bennett to work harder now than they ever have before. Making up for lost time. It's been so long since I've been able to get a cup of coffee at Morg's. Really makes me wish things in Crossbell would go back to normal, or at least start to. But I guess it can't happen with that gigantic tree looming over us. Come on guys, time to start patrolling the city. You ready, Henri? Momo? Yes sir, Captain Wheel. Let's go! Alright, Junior SSS, let's do this. Time to all out! Junior SSS, huh? I have to say, I'm flattered. The Junior SSS has a nice ring to it. Wheel comes up with some neat ideas every once in a while. We should go help out as many people in the city as we can if we want to live up to the name. Oh, hey guys! You go take care of that big tree. We'll protect Crossbell City while you're gone. Me, Ryu, and Henri are going to help everyone in trouble. The city needs us. My dad has been stuck in the slums since the train stopped running. But he immediately cheated up once he realized he could start fixing up other machines that run on wheels. Engineers are so stubborn. That's just the way my dad is though. Once a gearhead, always a gearhead. My engineering expertise is going to waste with a transcontinental railroad down like this. Maybe I could focus on orbital bus and car maintenance instead? I think I head to the Civic Center and see if I can't find some work over there. There's no reason my skills as a railway engineer shouldn't carry over to buses and cars. I don't know, there might be some differences, but sure, there's a lot of principles that probably carry over. Rio said he and the other kids are going to help out in the neighborhood, though how they plan on doing it is beyond me. I wanted to take this time to teach him the ways of a merchant, but he found a respectable excuse to slip away. Oh well, I suppose I can't blame him for being restless at a time like this. As for Shiruru, she took the first chance she got to set off on another one of her grand adventures. This time it's to Tangram Gate. Jeez, it feels like those kids of mine are never home for more than a second. Cecile called a little while ago to let me know she's safe. There was clearly something weighing on her mind, though. And I get the impression it wasn't just about how busy the hospital's been keeping her. Would you mind checking on her when you have a time? Maybe she just needs someone to talk to. Already did that, don't worry. The gigantic blue tree came from out of nowhere. No telling what could happen now, but I should probably document it with some photos for posterity. Just how does my husband plan to pay for this underground shelter he keeps going on about? Financial responsibility is one trick that old Doc simply refuses to learn. The world gets more dangerous every day I get out of bed. That's why I'm thinking of building an underground shelter for me and the wife. Let's see the tree get to us down there. I don't know, a tree is pretty good of getting underground. Takes a while to dig with the roots, but definitely can do it. They're saying the president had some rather questionable facilities built into Orcus Tower's interior structure. I'm disgusted. I helped design the exterior of a building, but it was all only ever a shell to write his sordid schemes in. He deceived each and every one of us. Good riddance to President Croix, I say. My husband may despise the president, but it hasn't stopped him from starting on his newest project. After what happened in the city, he received reconstruction requests from all sorts of companies looking to bolster their security. Hopefully it gives him something new to be passionate about, so he can put all this tower business behind him. That twin wetlands is making me uneasy, but I still have a job to do here. Sully has been practicing non-stop with Archon's here too, so I have no excuse to be slacking off. I plan on keeping Ilia's apartment spotless until she recovers enough to come home. With international trade still restricted, we're limited on what kind of goods we can stock. It's nice to see Crossbell starting to edge a little bit closer to normal again more. I have to work as hard as I can if I want to make sure my family gets through this. These trade restrictions are frustrating, but I'm glad things are slowly returning to normal. And only within the city, Crossbell Times issue 11. Oh, Momo. She went on hollering about how she and her friends were going to go and help the people of the city. I don't think I've ever seen her so determined before. Letting her play outside without adult supervision worries me, of course, but perhaps it's best I respect her space a bit. So, what does the book say? Urgent bulletin. President Dieter Croix is detained. The sitting president suddenly detained. This afternoon, President Dieter Croix was brought into custody by the CPD's Special Support Section. His charges include accessory to terrorism, unlawful imprisonment of Diet members, seditious conspiracy and misuse of government property, among other crimes. We expect that the president will be transferred to the 1st Division's custody before long. The current situation. A great number of President Croix's crimes have been brought to light. Despite his actions, there has been no change to his position, nor has any formal arrest warrant been issued at the time of writing. Nevertheless, our ground correspondent was able to witness these events firsthand, and it is thanks to these efforts that we were able to bring readers this historic report. And on behalf of this publication, I apologize for the delay with which the truth was reported. Startling circumstances. The following report concerns a matter of state law. The process by which Crossbell attempted to declare independence was unlawful, and thus the crimes that occurred by that process must be placed under scrutiny. According to an investigation conducted by the Special Support Section, President Croix employed the Jaeger Corps known as the Red Constellation and ordered them to attack Crossbell, leaving untold destruction in their wake. In doing this, the president manufactured a crisis he used to sway public opinion. From a referendum to the Declaration of Independence, the entire movement was predicated on deceit. The president himself has admitted to the foregoing allegations of wrongdoing. There can be no doubt that the events that have taken place in Crossbell over the past several months were all by his design. The duality of President Croix. Dieter Croix was elected mayor in the aftermath of a cult incident. Among numerous political reforms, he pushed the state into pursuing independence and positioned himself as its ruler. It's believed that the president is also responsible for the terrorist attacks, the cult incident itself, and other events. A review of events and the Declaration of Invalidity. A police investigation intended to uncover Croix's scheme sooner, but the officers involved wound up detained and imprisoned. Somehow, however, managed to escape confinement and succeed in freeing Speaker McDowell, who had been held under house arrest. The Speaker then went on to declare the state's independence invalid, detailing how the president's actions were fundamentally unlawful. The speech allowed police officers who had been unable to openly oppose Croix to unite and storm August Tower in hopes of ending the conflict and freeing the city. The president's dramatic capture soon followed. President Croix and the state's future. Now that President Croix is in custody and the barrier surrounding Crossbell City has fallen, the safety of the citizenry is assured. Unfortunately, the state remains in an extremely tenuous position. The president has yet to testify, but when he does, the Crossbell Times will be there to cover the story in full. We urge our readers abroad to remain calm and pay close attention to the situation in Crossbell as it unfolds. Breaking news: giant tree sprouts near Michelin. I believe everyone noticed that. For reasons unknown, a giant glowing tree has suddenly appeared near the Michelin resort. Clearly visible even from Crossbell City, it makes for a truly ominous sight. News of this extraordinary phenomenon, in addition to the president's arrest, has resulted in major panic throughout the state. Nevertheless, all the citizens are urged to remain calm, as a team of police officers has already been dispatched to investigate. We're performing a sweep of a building, its permanent surroundings right now. So far, we've managed to unlock the door to the second floor. Our detectives are hoping to uncover some evidence there. Mr. Grimwood, why? Pete? Oh, it's you guys. Good day, SSS. Congratulations on your successful operation. Thank you, Detective Emma. Are you and your men searching the building? Correct. The First Division is combing the premises for any possible evidence, material witnesses included. Cool as it may seem, we're having Pete stand present for the investigation as Mr. Grimwood's ward and sole employee. No, it's okay, I want to help. Mr. Grimwood told me something before he left. It struck me as odd, so I wanted to come and check it out. That's right, he mentioned wanting you to clean out his desk, didn't he? Odd is certainly a word there. Why would you request that of all things, especially in situations so urgent? Well, I think we found the answer to that just a little while ago. Here. Pete pulled out an unsealed envelope. He left behind a letter? Maybe read it? Uh-huh. Dear Pete, first and foremost I would like to apologize for leaving you with this letter so suddenly. After I took you in as both my ward and an assistant in my office, the two of us shared many happy days together. For years I'd been stricken with grief over one fateful day in my past, living for the sole purpose of bringing a certain project to fruition. And I could never thank you enough for changing that. There were moments when having you in my life made me second guess my path, but the wheels were already set in motion. It's too late for me to turn back. The project has passed the point of no return. So please, Pete, forget about me and live the happy life that you deserve. I will pray to Adios from afar that you grow to the bright young man that I know you can become. Ian Grimwood. Mr. Grimwood. We seized any remaining documents we found in his desk. Among them was a lengthy instructional memo on how to handle his clients moving forward, as well as procedural paperwork arranging for Pete's guardianship. Mr. Grimwood, why did you have to do this? How am I supposed to be happy if it means forgetting about everything he's ever done for me? Pete, The fact that he even asked proves he is indeed a fool. Take it from me, one measly-ass letter isn't going to cut ties with everyone you're leaving behind. Exactly. Pete, we're going to go track down Mr. Grimwood. And then we're going to shed a light on everything he's done and bring him back to answer for it. Thank you so much, everyone. Please, take care of Mr. Grimwood. From the looks of this project of Ian Grimwood's has been in the works for a long time. The First Division will continue searching the premises of Grimwood Law Office. I wish you all the best of luck. We found some materials related to the alchemy of the Middle Ages, as well as the ancient Zamurian civilization. They look ancient. It must have taken years to build up this collection. Just how long has Ian Grimwood been planning all of this? We discovered evidence of frequent communication with Orcus Tower on this terminal. Must be where he masterminded his operations, issuing commands to President Dieter Croix and his associates. Yeah. It's been a while since we had dinner together as a family, so I stepped out to get some groceries. But when I saw it, how does a tree even grow to be that stinking huge? It's giving me the creeps. It's like Granny always says, you have to keep your cool when things heat up. So to hell with that stupid tree. If I whistle while I walk to the store, it'll be like it's not even there. Yeah, exactly. Did you hear? The Haywers are back from America Village. Thank goodness they're okay. I've missed Sophia's cooking lessons. Families ought to be there for one another during times like these. Needless to say, I'm glad my son and daughter-in-law have returned home. When all said and done, families ought to be there for one another during times like these. My mother-in-law really helped keep our kids' spirits up while we were gone. I don't think I could ever thank her enough for that. My co-workers and I were locked inside Orcus Tower overnight. My family must have been so worried. I'm glad we finally made it out of there. Hello SSS. It does my heart good to know that you're all safe. Did you just get back from America, Mr. Hayworth? I did. We left as soon as I saw the barrier around the city disappear. I'll be heading out the door again as soon enough though. Back to work so soon? Sure you don't want to chill with your family a while longer? You haven't slept in your own bed in weeks. Maybe so, but I can hardly expect to get any rest, and there are desperate Crossbellans out there in need of help. I plan on making my way to mines first and continuing from there. I see. You always were one to put others ahead of yourself, Mr. Hayworth. And so long as you promise to be careful, we won't stop you. Of course, I only ask that you do the same in return. May the goddess keep you out of harm's way. I thought this would finally be our chance to slow down and relax, but Harold has other plans. Still, he wouldn't be the man I married if he weren't so thoughtful and hardworking. If helping others is what he wants to do right now, then he has my full support. Mama made Papa a lunchbox for his work trip. She used a bunch of veggies that Camille's mama gave us. Looked so yummy. I want Mama and Papa to take me to America Village again someday. I promise I'd go back to play with Camille and Polly some more. I heard President Croix was arrested. He had my support when he was inaugurated, but his methods went several steps too far past the line. We have to remember that we live in a world with consequences. Now Croix has to answer for his crimes. That being said, as far as that pale blue tree goes, I don't even know where to begin. Now that the president is in custody, who's in charge of handling the situation? The speaker, as far as I can tell? Yeah, they are gone. Three young guns calling themselves the High Bloods moved into that house not too long ago. But as soon as the barrier of the city dropped, they hightailed it out of here. Back to their native Calvert, no doubt. They don't have a car anymore, though. So what's their plan? Are they going to walk back to the Republic? Well, they're at the border. You're heading into that mysterious giant tree, aren't you, Lady Ellie? Don't worry, Joanna. We're all going to come home safe and sound. Of course, my lady. You've returned time and again up until now. So I have faith you'll do the same this time too. Until then, please, take care. Master Henry has assumed temporary command of Orcus Tower for the time being. He is, after all, the only one currently qualified to lead Crossbell following the president's arrest. This is a heavy burden to place on his shoulders again, but if anyone will give his all for Crossbell, it's him. Yeah? That man was supposed to be retired. What could have possibly caused that pale blue tree to appear in Crossbell? Will it bring light to his land or disaster? Even as men and women of the cloth couldn't begin to say. Oh, Hamel, Tamil, I'm so happy you're safe. Thank Adios. Thank you for your mercy. Sister Juju, you went to the ball about it, you know? We're glad you're okay too, Sister Juju. Mankuta and you got us safe too, right? As are all the rest of the children? Thank you, goddess. Yeah, all the kids in the city are doing totally fine. Thanks for worrying about us, Sister Juju. What's Sister Juju turning on the waterworks for? We were the ones who were worried about her. Whatever, we can use this to tease her with later. The police came by a little while ago to ask me some questions. Even now I refuse to believe it. There's no way Ian Grimbo to do something so heinous. We know it's hard to accept. But it's a reality no matter how much we've tried to deny it. The only way to uncover his true motives is to ask him ourselves. What could possibly ever drive him to that point? Guys, Tonfas. My heart aches just looking at them. All those cuts. Must be Arios' handiwork. Guess those two went at it pretty hard. Yeah. But look closely. You can see a lot of smaller nicks and scratches too. There's even marks from all the repeated repairs that were made to them. My brother strove for the truth and never gave up, no matter what barriers stood in his way. These Tonfas, they're a reflection of Guy's will, the values he lived his life by. Yeah, I'm sure of it. If we hope to resolve this crisis and close my brother's case, then we have to overcome Arios in the process, and Mr. Grimwood too. That's the only way to reach the truth he sought. I'll be looking after these Tonfas a while longer, Guy, so please, lend me your strength. Lloyd. You have the rest of us here too, in case you've forgotten. She's right, man. It's going to take a combined effort of all of us to bring Kia home. You're right. I know I can always count on you guys. Now let's do this. This grave belongs to Mr. Grimwood's wife and children. No reason to stay, we should get going. It's the first time I've been able to visit the cemetery since those monsters showed up in the city. It was anxiety-inducing at first, but the thought of my dearly departed gave me all the courage I needed. I have him to thank for keeping me safe. I'm sure he was watching over me from heaven. Let me tell you, that tree popping out of nowhere gave me and every other trader I know a real shock. I'm not worried though, I know Adios will keep us safe as long as we pray. You should try it too. Just send the goddess a few prayers and everything will come up roses. The president is in custody now, however, the situation in Crossbell is still anything but encouraging. This land may very well be dragged into the throes of war yet again. Let us pray that the goddess will spare us from such strife. I was finally able to make contact with the children outside the city. It may still be a while before Sunday school classes can resume, but for now, this is relief enough. That great tree that appeared in the wetlands is unlike anything recorded in the Testaments. Contending against it may be beyond the means of mankind. May the grace of the goddess be with you all. Lord Ellie, I must ask you something. Kia is inside that tree, isn't she? You could tell, Sister Marble. By the looks on your faces, yes. I can't speak as to the details of what you're up against, but I do feel compelled to say one thing. As Kia's guardians, it's your duty to bring her back safely, no matter what. Am I clear? Of course, we do no less. There will undoubtedly be people coming in droves seeking aid from the church. We have to prepare accordingly so that we are ready to welcome them in. Undoubtedly. Times of crisis, people take solace in their faith. The mist is gone and you know what that means. It's time to get your gambling on again. Come on and have some fun. Welcome to Barker, everyone. Leave your worries at the door and play the day away. Anything new? Not really. The table hasn't been the same since Miss Rita Rossa returned to Calvert. Our thrilling matches together were the highlight of my days. Hopefully she come back to our establishment once Crossbell is at peace again. Miss Rita Rossa is one of our most loyal regulars. Hopefully she comes back. But I suppose that won't be possible until something is done about that peculiar tree. In my opinion, there's absolutely nothing wrong with us opening our doors right now. Entertainment, after all, is but a tool to divert us from worry and rest our very souls. So why not take a break from these troubling times and enjoy a few games with us? Oh, I don't believe you, Rick. What are you still doing here? You're coming home right this instant. Oh, there also, at least let me exchange my tokens. Shut your mouth. I'm not having it. Oh, for the love of Adios. Just when the mist cleared and I finally got in the mood to play some slots, my old bad axe comes marching in. I must have really worried her this time. Does this imbecile not realize how worried I was about him? I'm cutting off his allowance. No more extra meal for games. Or anything for that matter. Hey gang, how's it going? Lecter, you're back at the casino? And in your vacation clothes too? How you can relax at a time like this is beyond me. What happened to your suit, if I may ask? One of those magic golem things went and put a tear in it while we were duking it out earlier. So I'm here to drink and party in its honor. I'll bet you are. Anyway, thanks for helping us with your operation, Hector. We might not have been able to break into Orcus Tower without your aid. Don't sweat it, I had a blast. Sure as hell beats doing desk work. It's nice getting some exercise in. You know, for an undercover spy, you really wound up stealing the show back there. Killiker too, for that matter. Who'd have thunk you guys could hold your own in a fight? I mean, those fencing skills and that high-level art? Not the kind of stuff just anyone can pick up overnight. If you really want to know, I guess I could throw you a bone on some of my secrets. It all started 30 years ago today. I went on a pilgrimage deep in the Isgard range when an old hermit taught me all I know. Like anyone's going to believe that? I feel like I understand him even less than I did a few minutes ago. Hey, no one said you had to believe it. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. Anyway, it's probably about time for me to skedaddle back to Erebonia soon. 50 tokens says the old man's gonna be needing my help again before long. Am I misunderstanding something? Did the Blooded Iron Chancellor not go missing after being shot? As I recall, the Noble Alliance made their move during the chaos caused by the Iron's assault on the Imperial Army. Yep, they've been occupying Heimdall for going on 2 months now. I swear it's like making enemies is the old man's hobby. We should realize how tough it is for us to clean up after him. But all that aside, I have my doubts that even a bullet through the chest could kill him that easily. Yes, I'm pretty sure of that. Not concerned at all. But meet cattle. From where I'm standing, whether the Noble Alliance wins or Old Man Gilead makes a last-second comeback, Crossbell's fate is sealed either way. Well, we don't know for sure what the future holds for us. But before anything else, we're going to head to that Azure tree and bring Kia home. Good on ya. Looking to what tomorrow's important and all, but you want to trip if you don't watch your step here and now. That's the reason people always say to focus on what's right in front of you. That's what really matters. Good advice, even if it does sound a little off coming from you. Still, we take it to heart. Thanks, Lecter. Just try and make sure your struggles pay off, alright? I don't want to find out later that sticking around was a big waste of time. I think I play a little while longer before I try and figure out a way to get back to the Empire. The old man will probably need my help again soon enough. Man, it's tough being an Imperial gopher. You're headed for that mysterious tree, aren't you, Randy? Damn, should have known better than to try and hide anything from you, Drake. Please, I'd like to imagine I know you well enough after all this time. Just don't forget the hefty tab you owe me. Those drinks won't pay for themselves. And if you think you can wiggle out of it by dying up there, you got another thing coming, understood? Yeah, I hear you. Don't sweat it, I'll make sure we're square one of these days. I guess that's just the way these two show their concern. Keep an eye on Wendy. He needs to stay alive. Of course, Mrs. Drake. We'll bring him back in one piece. Don't sweat it, I'll make sure we're square one of these days. He needs to be alive, otherwise he can't pay his tab. When the mist cleared, I thought I'd be able to open shop again, but now there's that huge tree in the distance. Wait, I got it. Big blue tree got you hot under the collar? Cool off with some ice cream. You can do it, Sully! Good luck, Arc-en-Ciel! We can't wait to see you make your big comeback! We got to visit Lady Ilya while we were helping out at the hospital. She told us that the rest of the troop was practicing their hardest right now. They needed our support more than ever. If Lady Ilya wishes it, so shall it be. I'm ready to roll up my sleeves and cheer like I've never cheered before. Never have I seen Crossbell in such a state of turmoil, but there's no time to panic. Our mission remains the same, to perform for our audience again the moment we can. Crossbell is still in a state of emergency, but it's a relief that we can finally make contact with others around the city. First things first, we need to gather as much information on the situation as we can. It was such a relief to hear Ilya's cheery voice again. Nothing that's happened has phased her one bit. We can't let her down. Ilya called in to offer a few words of encouragement to the troop just a little while ago. Even now she takes it upon herself to keep our spirits up. What a woman. It had been so long since I last heard Ilya's voice. I'm so glad she's alright. I wish we knew more about the giant tree, but for now, all we can do is keep rehearsing our tails off. No matter what happens to Crossbell, I want to continue devoting my mind, body and soul to my performance. As long as I do that, I have no reason to waver. Maybe that sounds naive, but it's what Ilya taught me. Hearing her voice through her phone reignited my passion for the theater. Ilya's passion truly is like the sun itself. Just hearing her words fired me up. Couldn't be more grateful for that. I'm fixing up Ilya's costume right now. After all, every garment has to be ready to grace the stage at a moment's notice. I'm sure this one will see the spotlight again someday too. Hey there, SSS. We finally heard back from Meister Jörg not too long ago. He agreed to rebuild our set pieces and automata for us right away. Wow, great news. I'll say. Usually it's us calling the Meister, not the other way around. Talk about once in a blue tree. I'm so happy about it. I could sprout wings and fly. Meister Jörg must have been worried about his associates at the theater. I wish him luck in finishing the job quickly. Never thought I'd see the day when Meister Jörg would be one to contact us. I'm so happy. Time to put all this motivation to use. I've got to make sure he has a good base to work off of. Even now, we have fans outside the theater demonstrating their support. Between them and Ilya's words of encouragement, we couldn't be more blessed. You know something? We really are fortunate to be performers. We owe it all and more to everyone who supported us. That's why I work harder than ever to make our comeback a reality. What's wrong, Sully? Nothing, I was praying is all. I mean, this is technically an altar, even if it's just a stage prop. Guess so. I didn't really take you for a praying type, soldier. Any particular thing you're ringing ideas up for today? Wendy, it's a prayer, not a house call. Give a girl some privacy. Nah, I don't mind. I don't think it's any secret that I'm praying for Ilya. But I also snuck in one for you guys too. What? You prayed for us, Sully? Huh. I don't really get what's happening, but you guys are trying to rescue Kia, right? Wherever it is you're going, I bet it's gonna be dangerous. That's why I'm praying for all of you, especially Wisher. Thank you, Sully. Yeah, we really do appreciate it. Don't make such a big deal out of it. Besides, Kia's my friend too. So you guys better rescue her, got it? Yeah, consider it done. So you guys went and visited Ilya? Several times, yeah? She's lively as ever, and getting livelier. Sounds about right. Were you at too, Wisher? Yes, though I was standing outside the door. I'm still not ready to see her face to face. But I do want to apologize to you, Sully. I'm sorry for worrying you. Hey, don't make this about me. Honestly, I'm relieved you finally went to see her. Now, I know you won't go running off again. Sully. My bad, didn't mean to be so blunt. Anyway, I'll be sitting tight over here until you guys come back safe. Just don't keep us waiting too long this time, okay? I won't. It's only a matter of time before we put on another performance. I want all of you to be there when we do. The evacuees returned to their homes after we learned that the president was taken into custody. That enormous tree is still a mystery to us, but the mist is cleared up and the city appears to be settling down. In the meantime, the Hotel Millennium will be taking extra precautions in case things take another turn for the worse. Letizia made it clear that she intends to continue operating the hotel regardless of how it affects our profit margins. These are trying times for all of Crossbellans. I'll have to draw on my decades of experience and support her through this. The evacuees are finally able to return home after the mist lifted. Crossbell isn't out of the woods quite yet, but it did raise my spirits when they all thanked us before leaving. Our manager instructed us to prepare additional emergency provisions as a precaution. Essential goods are dwindling within the state, however, it wouldn't be right to take them away from those in need. We contacted the government to ask whether the import freeze will be lifted soon. I don't know what the giant glowing tree deal is, but it's barking up the wrong tree if it thinks it's gonna stop my barking. I have a job to do. Hey there, pal. Wanna stop by our club? We're throwing a mega happy hour to celebrate the arrest of President Croix. Just keep our Independence Day sale for a while back on the lowdown, got it? We're all struggling right now, so there's this strange feeling of solidarity among all the working girls. I don't even really care about competing for top posters with my rival anymore. Treating our guests to some good company and their favorite drink is satisfying enough for me. It's only a matter of time before Heyu returns and seizes control of Crossbell's underworld. They may not share Ravash's taste for the limelight, but their influence is everywhere in the shadows. Already I can see traces of it threading its way back into the back alley. I'm going to have to be careful. Oh, come on, Eric, have a drink with me. The spooky mists are all gone. What better time to party it up? Go home, Sandra, you're drunk. Eric is such a downer, but that's what I love about him. Click, clack, click, clack. So, Croix was arrested and a massive tree appeared in the wetlands, eh? The orbital net is being flooded with theories left and right, especially when it comes to that overgrown sapling. This could be my big chance to push in a brand new tourist attraction. That way I could rake in my riches after our diplomatic ties are fixed. They say money doesn't grow on trees, but that's where they're wrong. That overgrown sapling is going to make me richer than ever. I need to look into property values around the wetlands. Then I can cash in once tourism kicks back up. What's with a giant tree? It's like totally insane. The light's coming off, it's pretty and stuff, but I don't know. It just gives me the creeps for some reason. Like, what's gonna happen now? I made contact with Chroma and confirmed she's alright. In fact, she's already back working her juice cart. That daughter of mine really takes after her mama when it comes to making mirror. Weird giant tree or not, it feels good to go outside. All that martial law was making me stir crazy. I think I'll take this opportunity to pick up some snacks for Zerone. She's gonna love it. Scott was here a little while ago. Thankfully he's been holding up okay. Watching her work so hard for all of us makes me want to do my part too. No sooner had martial law ended that a bizarre tree appeared out of thin air. Calvert and Arabonia, no less of a threat either. It begged the question, what could I as an individual do in the face of such unprecedented hardship? The answer is the same for myself as it is for every one of us. We must think rationally and act on our best judgment. Neston makes excellent points. I still have a lot to learn, both as an entrepreneur and a salesman. Nevertheless, I want to do everything in my position to help Crossbell in the here and now. The best thing merchants like us can do at a time like this is to keep our services open to those who need them. With international trade routes still closed, our supplies are going to be limited, but I'm sure we get by one way or another. Did that tree really just pop out of thin air? Is this a dream? A magic trick? Someone pinch me. Right as we stepped outside, that giant tree popped out of nowhere. I don't know what this thing is all about, but I'd better not get in the way of my retail therapy. All of our retailers are committed to staying open, to help everyone during these trying times. The same goes for me. I'm gonna give this every bit of manpower, no, lady power I have. If a store will struggle to acquire imported goods, we always have our custom ordering to fall back on. We also plan to contact more artisans as part of Hanson Shoe's commitment toward providing customers a full range of services. Still nothing new. No one has any idea where that tree came from, but at least it doesn't appear to be an immediate threat. I wouldn't mind if it vanished as quickly as it appeared though. The thing is a terrible eyesore. Imelda doesn't think so. The sight of that massive tree immediately brought to mind a floating structure that appeared over Libel last year. At least in this case our orbments still work. Thank heavens for that. I've been mulling it over and think it's finally time to launch my new brand. Adversity breeds innovations, as they say. I'm going to roll out fashion lines everyone across the continent will love. The blue glow coming from that tree makes it positively enchanting. How'd that tree grow so big? Man, life sure is weird, huh? Excellent question, young man. Let's see if we can figure that out. I'm not aware of the details, but it seems we lost an ally in those aeons. Perhaps weapon would be more apt? Whether or not his methods were just, I'm positive President Croix only ever procured them for Crossbell's protection. In spite of all the chaos he caused, I just can't bring myself to condemn him for it. I think Wing Sept has a bright future with Seteo and Nono working here. Crossbell has quite a lot of issues to overcome before I can retire though. But as long as we work together, I'm sure there's nothing we can't solve. A glowing blue tree, huh? It's getting harder to separate fantasy from reality these days. I think I'm going to need more caffeine for this. Satya is surprisingly motivated today. It actually makes me feel a little better despite everything going on outside. There's no telling what will happen to the city, but I do know one thing. I want to keep making delicious food for everyone to eat. You're gonna have limited access to ingredients going forward, but I can get around that with some ingenuity. Never been more fired up to cook. Watch out, world. Here comes Salteo. I think Salteo has finally turned the corner when it comes to cooking. Good for him. Maybe he can retire soon after all. I know things are looking rough, but don't get discouraged, Lloyd. After all the hardships you've been through, nothing is going to stop you from solving this case too. If there's anything I'm positive about, it's that. So have some confidence and get out there. Thanks, Kate, that means a lot. I'm sure you and the team can crack this case, just like we did before. So have some confidence and get out there. The Metropolitan Division has your back. What's with a giant tree in the sky? Just when I thought it was finally safe to come out too. It's not going to come falling down on us, is it? This must be what existential dread feels like. What's with that huge tree in the sky? It shouldn't even be physically possible. Wait, should I really be standing here handing out balloons right now? To be honest, I'm in no mood to shop, but staying at home wasn't doing my nerves any favor. Hopefully things go back to normal soon so I can shop for appliances in peace. Oh, Chaco, my sweet little girl. She has no idea how worried her dear old dad has been about her. I'm gonna die of embarrassment if Dad keeps staring holes into me like this. Still, in a way, it's comforting to know he's that concerned about me. Good to see you, SSS. Congrats on finally putting a stop to the big bad president. Crossbell's white ride isn't over and done with just yet, though. Best of luck to us both, Lloyd. Thanks, we're gonna need it. Don't let anything stop you from keeping this place standing, okay, Venny? We're going to need someone to tinker with our Enigma 2s when this is all said and done. You betcha, Lloyd. I can't just send you out there with nothing but my well wishes, though, so take this. Thanks, Venny. These will definitely come in handy. No sweat. It's the least I can do. Anyway, I'm sure you have more important places to be. Keep safe, alright? Once all this blows over, you, me, and Oscar should get something to eat together. For old time's sake. Sounds like a plan. My husband said he is returning to City Hall, so I think me and Mimi will head back home. I'm sure there will be plenty to worry about in the future, but as long as we stick together as a family, nothing will bring us down. Dad said he has to go to work now. You're always working too, right, Lloyd? Just so you know, I'm always cheering for you, so don't give up, okay? We won't, thanks, Mimi. Daddy's amazing, but so is the SSS. You're always working so hard. I'm gonna cheer my hardest for you guys too, so don't give up, okay? Well, I suppose it's time I head back to Orcus Tower. Things are probably strung up in chaos over there too. They're going to need my help to get things back in gear. Feels like the whole damn city finally calmed down, aside from that giant spooky tree that is. Looks like we have a long road ahead of us. Times like these call for everyone to do their part. Cop? Cop? We need you to watch over the building for a bit, Cop. No need to worry. We make sure Kia comes home safely. Meow. You have an Elder King. And the Katze Master Quartz. You giving this to me? Thanks, Rob. We make good use of it. So what can Katze do? Absorb magic attacks. It wasn't too long after we declared our independence the Transcontinental Railroad suspended operations. What's more, a civil war has broken out in the Empire, and of course, the Republic has its own fair share of problems. Guess my peaceful days of railway gazing are over. This is a good contender for the saddest moment of my life. I've decided to go and deliver any surplus goods here in Crossbell City to the rest of the state. That said, there's a limit on how much people can spare, now that imports have been restricted. But still, while I may just be a simple delivery man, I do what I can to aid the cause. Good, we can't go in. Oh, you're the SSS, aren't you? Thanks for doing what you do. You authorized to pass, so go right ahead. We currently have officers conducting an investigation of the airport landing field. We're going to have to insist that you refrain from entering the search zone. This is my first time coming back to work since the Jaegers and monsters attacked the city. Now inbound airmail is suspended, so that's one less service. I wonder how we're going to get by. Part of me questions if our lives will ever return to normalcy. After our independence was declared, the airport became a base to prevent potential invasions from the two major powers. But apparently those Jaegers that raided the city were working directly for President Croix himself. I just don't know what to say. Did our faith in the President's words and dreams of independence mean nothing? The police got here a while ago. They're out searching the landings for any traces of the Jaegers. Sorry, but we're going to need you to stay away from there for now. But why can I go in here? This is one sticky situation Crossbell's gotten itself into. Still, it's times like these when all of us need to come together. Go and get them, Speaker McDowell. Crossbell won't back down so easily. Come on, youngsters, you join in too! The city is more peaceful now, but there's still this sinking feeling in the air. The giant tree showing up makes it hard to feel otherwise. Maybe I could recommend some good books for people to take home and unwind with? Good morning and welcome to the Crossbell City Library. I figured he wouldn't have many visitors today. But I can't blame anyone staying inside on account of that mysterious tree looming in the distance. We don't have many visitors today, but that's no excuse to drag my feet. As a librarian, I do my utmost to be gracious to all who come to check out our books. Abby has been so anxious since the lockdown, so I thought I could help him relax by reading him a book. Hopefully Mark and the Witch of the Deep Forest will do the trick. Hurry and read, Mama, please! How's everyone doing? If you're tired, I recommend gulping down a seperate X. It's not one of my original creations, but I still think you'll like it. One bottle will perk you right up so you can face the day full of energy. By the way, I finally heard back from my mom. Turns out she's been keeping safe at the department store the whole time. But enough about that. It's time for all of you to perk yourself up with a reinvigorating sip of Seperate X. Now that martial law is no longer in effect, our staff has split up to confirm the safety of the citizens. About a dozen or so were discovered with minor injuries, but most people seem to be okay. Ambulances have already been arranged for those who require treatment, so we should be able to rest easy for now. We are currently planning where to stage our public address regarding the current crisis. Our citizens deserve an official statement on what all of this could mean for Crossbell's future. Unrest is spreading as we speak, so time is of the essence. Just what is the deal with a gigantic tree? And why is it glowing pale blue? I thought I had seen it all this year, but I guess I was wrong. Wait, don't tell me you guys are thinking about climbing that thing. We are. This is a fight we can't back down from, friends. We'll leave you guys to look after the city in the meantime. Yeah, we got it covered. Just be careful up there, okay? The department will find a way to manage down here. You guys be careful heading over the tree, okay? Good to see you again, Special Support Section. Same to you, Rebecca. You back to the front counter at headquarters, I see. That's right, Officer Kate, Detective Raymond, and the others also returned to their usual duties. At present, we are no longer under the Defense Forces chain of command. Now that things are back to normal, we are all working to respond to the situation from our respective posts. Good to know progress is being made, at least. We have your efforts to thank for that. Oh, before you go, could you deliver a message to Fran for me? Tell her that I have a reception desk covered and she can devote herself to helping all of you until this is over. Understood. I'm sure she'll be ecstatic to hear that. Look after things at headquarters for us in the meantime, okay, Rebecca? Of course. I'm ready to give everything I have for the sake of the citizens. There's still much to be done before this is all resolved. Best of luck out there, SSS. Data fragments. Chief Yolik went to the police academy to help get things in order, now that the defense force was pulled out of there. That leaves us with a job of guarding the station. The Metropolitan Division has resumed patrolling the city. We're going to have to exercise caution. Any large-scale disturbances may run the risk of threatening public safety. Hey guys, listen to this. They said Inspector Donovan is going to be reinstated to the force soon. It's been so tough to fill his shoes with him in the hospital. Now I won't have to do as much work anymore. That's great, Raymond. We'll have to ponder what the inspector would say if he knew the reason behind your relief. Or let's not say anything too crazy, okay, Theo? What the inspector doesn't know won't hurt him. Once Inspector Donovan is back, the 2nd Division will finally be able to rest easy again. Until then, I'm going to have to apply myself. I don't know the first thing he sees when he walks in to be me slacking. Oh, a car. Oh, look! I guess the car was moved here after the operation. And it's going to have to stay there for a while longer, as unfortunate as it is. Yeah, we're sort of tied up with a statewide crisis at the moment. You can take it in for proper repairs once everything's settled. Definitely. Don't worry, girl. We get you nice and fixed up once all this is over. Be over that much, at least. So that's it, the president's really been arrested. Makes you wonder what'll happen to Crossbell now. Still, what's done is done. We're just going to have to take things as they come. News of Dieter's arrest has already begun to make its way out of our borders. You must be wary of how the two major powers react. How's the current situation throughout Crossbell, Deputy Commander? Understandably, the tree's appearance is causing panic and confusion across the state. Many citizens are also requesting transport to the hospital now that the barrier is down. I've instructed 2nd Lieutenant Mireille to handle things on that end. Regarding transit to and from the cities, I've deployed squads on the highways as additional protection for traveling vehicles. As such, we are now able to escort far more people than we could under the President's restrictions. I see. Your timeliness is much appreciated. As for myself, I need to make a public appearance as Speaker of the Diet and explain the President's arrest. Preparations are currently underway at the Civic Center, correct? Yeah. We plan on wheeling out those monitor cars for President during his big address. Our officers here in the city can get them set up in a jiff if they divide the workload. Thank you, Chief Sergey. Remember, we must let our guard down against the two major powers. I need each and every one of you to be careful as well. Sounds like Speaker McDowell and the others are pretty busy putting out fires all over Crossbell. Let's trust my grandfather and them to handle matters on the ground for now. Even if we manage to get the situation under control, there will undoubtedly be difficult times out of Crossbell. Perhaps the future of our state was too heavy a burden for Dieter to bear. It leaves me to wonder if there was anything I could have done as his fellow statesman to prevent this. Never have I felt this powerless. Grandfather, please don't put this on yourself. I think this is a burden all the people of Crossbell need to shoulder together. How we act next, though, that's going to be what defines us as a state. Yes, you're absolutely correct. For now, we must address the issues that lie before us, one by one. I know I've placed so much on your shoulders already, but I hope you continue to lend me your strength for a while longer. Hey team, something up? Nothing particular, we just wanted to touch base on the situation here. Well, right now we're discussing our plan of attack regarding all the little problems throughout the state. I'm basically the CBD's liaison this go round. I see. You're certainly the right man for the job, Chief. So no one's holding up a fort back at the SS building then, huh? Any new support requests coming in? Yeah, tons of them. I had them forwarded to the guild. Don't sweat it, I know you guys are bigger fish to fry. You did that? At the start of the year, we never let ourselves lose a request to the guild. And now things will be in good hands with them. Yeah, focus on doing your thing and settling this the way you think it needs to be done. Not just as the CPD Special Support Section, but as the people you've grown to become. We will. By the way, I should mention that the President is being detained in a room on the 36th floor. Taking him in is going to have to wait. He hasn't shown any signs of resisting arrest though, so security on him is pretty light. If you feel like it, you can go up and visit. Not sure he'll tell you anything you haven't already heard though. Hello everyone, Randy. Yo Mireille, looks like we've been reinstated. Yes, thankfully. The commander was happy to have us back, even if we did disobey her orders. I'm not surprised. Commander Bates has always been the practical sort. She needs all the outstanding officers she can get right now, and you're one of the best. I'm not too sure how much of a difference I can make in particular, but still, it's good to be back. And now that I am, I plan on giving this my all. Not as a member of the CGF or the Defense Force, but as someone who has a duty to protect Crossbell. Hell yeah, go get him, Mireille. Just try not to get so fired up that you need me bail you out again. Oh god, shut up, Randy. I know what I'm doing. President Cross is being detained on the 36th floor. It's an unsettling feeling having to put our own head of state under arrest. Just how did things come to this? The security division has finally been posted here again, now that the defense forces withdrawn. But the city isn't out of the woods just yet. We're going to do everything we can to help. Theo, you're heading off to that giant tree, aren't you? It just tears me up inside thinking of what could happen to you over there. It's alright, Chief Roberts. You have no need to... Oh, I know. What if I grabbed an orbital staff of my own and accompanied you? I've got a gist of how it works, why I could even back you up in battle with support crafts. Wouldn't that be just perfect? I said, I go and get red... Pass. Some things never change. As I was about to say, you have no need to worry about me so much, Chief. Rest assured that I and the others will return in one piece, with Kia in tow. And besides, your wall is in the city right now. The people could use your help getting this chaos in order. Theo, you couldn't be more right. I need to focus on the work I have in front of me. Just promise me that you'll come home safe and sound. I won't accept even one scratch on you. Moving on, that professor from the society left, correct? And he took the white iron along with him? He did. To be honest, if I were ever to see him again, it would be too soon. Even you are 1,000 times more bearable to listen to than him. Theo, you really mean it? Isn't being compared to Professor Novartis kind of a low bar? Still, those ions... Something wrong, Chief? Don't worry about it. That word came from the same root we named the Aeon system after. Surely it's just a coincidence, right? I'll be waiting for all of you to make your triumphant return. As much as I'd like to come along, I respect Theo's firm but polite refusal. Just promise me that you come home safe and sound, and won't accept even one scratch on her. Okay, let's get to work. The orbital network's not gonna check itself. It got harder to establish a connection with the blue mist and monsters were outside. There might have been some damage done to the system. Sounds good to me. First things first, we ran some operational verification tests on the tower's terminals. It's good to be working with you again, David. Alright, let's get to work. With Chief Roberts here, getting these network problems resolved shouldn't be any problem at all. One less thing to worry about. The staff and security were detained in the tower earlier have since been released. Most of them were in a hurry to get back to their positions, myself included. It only makes sense. At times like this, we have to come together to support the citizens. For the time being, the management of Orcus Tower and its staff is being left in the hands of Speaker McDowell. We're still in a state of confusion, but the fact that this building exists to serve the people hasn't changed. Take care, SSS. I look forward to working with all of you again in the future. The IBC has suspended full-time operations until further notice, and half the staff have been sent home and told to remain on standby. After all these years of working for Mr. Croix, his arrest couldn't have been more shocking to me. It's difficult to accept, but we must find a way to get through this for the better. It seems all those monsters that were in the city have finally disappeared. I was so terrified of them when the tower was on lockdown. Thankfully the damage in the city isn't too great, but never want to go through that ever again. I hear the IBC has lost both its CEO, President Croix, and his daughter, who was acting CEO. This is undoubtedly going to affect stock prices, but I still think the IBC will remain the largest asset holder on the continent. I'm going to wait and watch how things go. I at least want to see who they end up bringing on to fill the empty role. It warms my heart to see separated friends and families reuniting again. We've all been through a terrible ordeal. Times like these are when we need our loved ones the most. By the way, you should know that your broken down orbital car was relocated outside a little while ago. My condolences, I could tell how well you'd been taking care of it. We saw it, thank you. My goodness, I can't take my eyes off you for a second, can I? But Margaret, as the Vice Commissioner of the Police, there are times when I have to rise to the occasion. Isn't that something you should always be doing, Pierre? If you made a habit of performing your job properly, you wouldn't get wrapped up in messes like these. I'm sorry. She's got him on a one-argy leash. Now, as a punish for warning me so, I'm cutting your next month's allowance by half. Please, anything but that. Yo, get out of here. Can't you see I'm busy? I saw a little girl take the elevator to the roof a little while ago. I think it might have been the Secretary of Defense's daughter. Maybe she wants to get a good look at the tree that sprung up in the wetlands? Can go to the basement. Ah, there she is. Was hier? Also nur in Orchard. Here, father. What are you doing up here, Shizuku? Oh, hello everyone. I came to look at the giant tree. Are my father and Kia really in there? Naja, that much is for certain. Yes, but we don't know their exact location just yet. I see. Don't worry, Shizuku. You won't have to wait much longer. We're going to bring your father and Kia back, we promise. What is that? It's a tight, kiddo. I'll try. Please, everyone, make sure my father comes home, and Kia too. Nothing unusual to report. We continue our patrols in the meantime. You can get the mechanical levels from the 30th floor downward via the emergency stairs, but they still have yet to be secured. So basically the monsters are still there. Okay. Good to see you, Special Support Section. Likewise. Is Mr. Rumia keeping him in? Yes, Mr. President, excuse me, Benita Croix is being detained. Do you mind if I ask how he is? He seemed wilder when he was taken into custody, but he's since calmed down. He hasn't put up any resistance at least, so we haven't had to add any additional security. You're allowed to see him if you like. Chief Sergei's order. Gotcha. What should we do, Lloyd? Yeah, let's do it. I've been curious about what's on his mind. I'd like to hear it from a man himself. Very well, go on in. So, you've come to see me? What in heaven's for? I'm an international criminal. Hello, Dieter. Uncle. You know, I've come to realize something being isolated like this. Bell was absolutely right. I was never more than a conduit for Ian's ambitions. From my soapbox, I constantly preached that justice was an ideal worth pursuing, regardless of the sacrifices. In the end, what did it get me? I've fallen from grace, ejected from my presidential post, and discarded by my only daughter. That green-haired boy from the society pales in comparison to me. I'm the real fool around here. Even so, we can't completely condemn you. It's only natural for someone to stick to their beliefs and their personal justice on one line. What you've done is inexcusable, but no one can ever claim you weren't genuinely trying to protect Crossbell. True enough. I don't think that speech you gave us about justice back at the IBC was something just pulled out of your ass. In your words, humankind are creatures that will, to our dying breath, chase after the ideal of justice. I believe the citizens of Crossbell approved of your Declaration of Independence because your sense of justice resonated with them. But public opinion aside, the methods you employed were anything but just. Even if Crossbell retained its independence, even if your justice is upheld, and peace is achieved, that alone won't heal the wounds of those who were harmed in the process. You try to bring peace to Crossbell by sacrificing the innocent. As far as I'm concerned, it makes every word of your inauguration speech hollow. That's exactly right, Ellie. You speak nothing but the truth. Perhaps I was blinded by my own idealistic dreams once Kia's power stood within my grasp. Ian saw through my self-deception before I ever could, and so I became a puppet on a string for him to manipulate. But in the end of the day, justice is something carried out by one's power and will. That fact remains as true as the first time I said it. I expect you all to stay faithful to your humanity, to continue your pursuit of a justice you most believe in. To come out of all of this, you will need to demonstrate to Ian and the others your own power, your own will. Easier said than done, but there's no reason to back down. We're ready to do whatever it takes. It's the only way we are going to get Kia back. That's right. In that case, I won't say anything more. Ian is one matter, but as far as Belle goes, well, she may be my daughter, even I have no idea how far she's willing to go for this. With all that in mind, will you be able to take the next step forward and rescue Kia? I suppose we shall see soon enough. Hey, Mademoiselle. Are you alright? Don't worry, I'm fine. Part of me was worried for Uncle Dieter after the way Belle completely abandoned him. Yet he seemed surprisingly composed. I was thinking the same. I guess that makes one less worry in our minds. He was right about one thing though. It's time for us to take the next step forward. He'll be facing more than a few charges, but there's a part of me that doesn't want to see him punished too harshly. Kind of proof of his methods, but in the end, we're still trying to protect Crossbell. Life's full of mountains, but let me tell you, there's not one of them that can't be surmounted. Calvert and Erebonia can stuff it, same goes for that spooky overgrown shrub. Blue tree, red tree, green tree, I don't give a hoot. Nothing's gonna stop me from making my noodles. It turns out that Rains managed to keep himself safe by slipping into the geofront. Thank goodness he's alright. Got your camera ready, Rains? Yep, good to go. Alright, off to Orcus Tower then. We're not gonna just bum around and let Grace leave us in the dust. Yeah. Looks like Rains is back on his reporting beat. For him, this must be like killing two birds with one stone. Not that it would be easy to do both of his jobs at once. We let Grace report on a gigantic tree. The rest of us are going to follow the government's next moves. We need to keep close eye on how they're planning to clean up things before Erebonia and Calvert can respond. We gotta get out there and gather as much info as we can. There's always another news scoop to cover. You finish one big story and bam, it's on to the next. And we can go up. McCann and I rushed out the article on the president's arrest the second the ink was dry. Lucky for us, our full staff is back to work as well. Now we're in touch with Grace again. It's up to us to keep new information flowing in. We're working as fast as possible to put out accurate information so we can keep civil unrest to a minimum. I thought I'd finally be able to look up and see a sunny sky again, but instead we get a huge tree. What in the world even is it? Don't tell me the president's responsible for that too. Doesn't seem dangerous, at least. So that colossal tree that materialized is emanating some sort of Azure light, is it? How eerily reminiscent of a Liber arc that appeared above Libel. They say it turned out to be an ancient floating city. What then is the true nature of this tree? Between martial law, the president getting arrested, and that tree springing up, I just can't keep track of it all. But no matter what happens next, I won't let anyone harm Amisa. Not over my dead body. My grandpa says it's too soon to start feeling safe. I'm scared we might get attacked again. But everything will be okay as long as I have grandpa with me. I love him so much. Martial law caused a huge backlog of packages to pile up, so now I'm busier than ever. At least I don't have to worry about being out of a job. Plus, I'm getting plenty of exercise. Man, do I feel alive. The president gets apprehended, an ominous blue tree pops out of nowhere. When are we ever gonna catch a break? All I want is for this thing to go back to the way they were. What's wrong, boy? Nothing. Don't worry about it. There's no time to be afraid when I've got this little rascal to watch out for. Protecting Mei Ling is the most important thing in the world to me. As long as she's safe, everything else will be fine. Roy looks really sad. You should stop being such a worrywart and play with me instead. I got really scared when I saw that big tree outside. But as he said, he'd do something about it, and that made me feel better. Maybe my brother, but I don't think even he can make that tree go away. Still, I'm glad he wanted to cheer me up. My brother's the coolest. I feel a lot better thanks to him. Azure went back to the downtown district a little while ago. The old me would have been upset at him for leaving us again so soon. But now he just wants to look out for his friends and everyone else in the neighborhood. Azure has become his own person now, so I'm not going to nag him the way I used to. I know he's doing everything he can to help his friends in the neighborhoods downtown. If only my husband were still with us. Osman would have chosen to fight for what's right until the very end. That was his pride as a guardsman. Please, special support section, keep watching after Noel and Fran. My daughters are in your care. You can work them as hard as you like until you've resolved this crisis. Jeez, Mom. Father seems excited to be going back to work. I'm happy for him. What about you, Marie? Huh? The company I worked for closed after the IBC building went down, but we recently rented a small office space and opened up again. It's been a while though, so I need to shake off a rust. Still, I'm eager to get back to providing for our family. Marie included, of course. It's a relief to know Cindy and Sophia's families are safe. This isn't the end of things though. Oh, I wish life would go back to normal soon. Even if President Kreuz is out of the picture, we still have Speaker McDowell. Can't think of any man more capable of restoring peace than Crossbell. President Kreuz has been apprehended. A head of state being arrested like this is practically unheard of. What's going to happen to Crossbell now? I'm glad everything in Crossbell is back to normal. Mostly anyway. We still got that mysterious tree looming in the distance, but I'm sure we'll find a way to manage. Maybe I'll whip out some new handicrafts to relax. Roy has the day off from work, then it's back to full steam tomorrow. Yeah, that tree is a little ominous, but I think we'll manage. It feels like a city was returning to its usual hustle and bustle again. I have to do my part and kickstart the economy by buying as much as I can. Okay, time to plan out another new shopping route and maximize our savings. Din's plan to overcome this is to eat more vegetables. Like to know where he gets his optimism. Still, I guess it's that part of him that brightens everybody's day. Maybe that's what being a street vendor is really about in the end. Din's unrelenting optimism never fails to cheer everyone up. He even comforted me when those monsters were roaming the streets. I really owe him for that. Welcome one and all. Din's Fresh is open for business today. Fresh veggies will help us overcome this crisis in better health than ever before. Lily keeps glancing over at me for some reason. Do I have something stuck on my face? The man of the house has begun treating me with more respect lately. How many years has it been since I last went shopping with Gillette? I know things are tense right now, but little moments like these are still worth enjoying. Me, my dad, and my brothers are all worried about Mom going out alone, so we're taking turns shopping with her. It's a little inconvenient, but if something happened to Mom, we'd all go down with a ship. I feel like I'm finally starting to realize how much I appreciate her. Martha must have nerves of steel. Anybody else would be closing up shop at a time like this. But again, the tenacity is one of the reasons I fell in love with her. I understand why my hubby is worried after all that's happened, but to think he'd come help at my store? I guess I do feel a bit safer though. Might as well put him to work and get some sales out of it. Two recipes are still missing, but where are they? Are they in the tree? The president has been arrested, but where do we go from here? There's still so much more left for the people of Crossbell to overcome. All of us who call this place home need to come together and show unity. Then we can take a step back in the right direction. Our lives may be back to normal, but Crossbell still has a slew of other problems to deal with. With our diplomatic relations severed, merchants across the state will begin to run out of stock. I do reach out to Speaker McDowell so the two of us can work out some solutions. I was finally able to get in touch with my friends and family in America Village. There's still plenty to be worried about, but hearing from them was still a huge relief. On a separate note, this whole situation hasn't dampened our members' enthusiasm for fishing one bit. Certain Peter and Cobban left with a bait and tackle the moment the mist cleared. Oh hey there kiddos, congrats on cuffing the president. Talk about a big catch, huh? Thanks Mikkel, we wouldn't have been able to make it inside in the first place without your guild's help. It was our teamwork that paved the way for the mission's success. Oh please, it was nothing. We'd been wanting to do something about the situation for a while. You showing up was just a windfall we needed. Because of you, the guild was finally able to get back to business as usual. Oh, that would explain why you're the only one downstairs. Yep, with a barrier down, the city clear, most everybody has gone off to check on the other parts of the state. We were locked inside for so long that we're practically drowning in requests. My boys and girls are going to be busy. Our sincerest condolences. And as we heard from Chief Sergey, he dumped all our work on them as well because we have the important job at the tree. Yeah, we'd like to lend a hand, but, you know, don't worry about it. We hold down the fort around here. In exchange, you go handle that tree that sprouted out of a wetland to us. I know it's personal. The way I see it, Vetabytes will work up perfectly. I guess you're right. Kia and Ares are over there. And we're going to do everything in our power to bring them back. And that's the SSS can do attitude. I shouldn't have to tell you not to underestimate Arios though. He's a tough cookie. After competing with him for almost a year, you should know that better than anyone. Now go smack some sense into him and give him an extra one from me. Glad to. Beating Arios will be easier said than done, but it's the only way you're going to bring him and Kia back to reality. When you do, I'm gonna roll up his letter of resignation and smack him over the head for putting us through all this foolery. Lynn is here? Ah, with Kilika, of course. You were amazing earlier, Kilika. Seeing the Titus School's flying swallow with my own 2 eyes was nothing short of enlightening. It's not often I get to brandish my chakrams, but it went better than I'd anticipated. I can tell you've been training hard yourself, Lynn. Compared to your spar 8 years ago, you're a brand new martial artist, a much more capable one at that. Hardly. My technique has a way to go. I'm nowhere near the level of mastery you and Zin have achieved as much as I'd like to be. Being a dedicated pupil is a good start, though. At the rate you're growing, you may be able to move the immovable in another year or so. He had to overcome his weakness for fair and tender maidens. Your sharp tongue could even make an A-rank bracer like him look bad, Kilika. There's no better experience than fighting back-to-back with my idol, Kilika. I need to refine my title prowess even more to keep Crossbell safe. Excellent job earlier, everyone. Likewise, Kilika. Thanks for offering to lend a hand. Yeah, you and Lecter kicked some serious ass back there. Please, it was nothing at all. Putting that aside, I scarcely expected any of this Azure tree business. How has Calvert responded to the situation? The Republican government is in shock. It's visible from Altair as well, you see. But without any knowledge of what threat it may pose, we've decided to sit back and observe. I can't divulge any more beyond that. I suppose that's fair. I plan to remain here until I have a full assessment of what's going on. What path Crossbell takes from today on remains to be seen. Now that will largely depend on your actions. Spare yourself a regret. Do whatever it is you believe to be right. That was our intention from the start. Thank you again, Kilika. We started up our shipping business again. Up until now, our routes have typically been to and from Calvert, but we have to make do delivering with in-state lines for a while. But it's all the same job in the end. Long as we work just as hard as we ever have, things will sort themselves out. You look like you're about to go somewhere super dangerous. I wish you wouldn't, but I know you can stop, Eurisha. I'll be right here waiting for you, so you better come back safely. I will, I promise. Well, if it isn't Detective Bennings and his colleagues, how are you? Sao, what are you doing here? Is there something strange about us coming to Long Lao for a bite to eat? With the city calming down, what better time for a relaxing meal? Still kinda ballsy, don't you think? You even took the middle table for anyone who walks in to see. I was not comfortable with it myself. However, it was a waitress who seated us here and Master Sao did not refuse. Don't think me some brazen malcontent trying to flaunt his newfound freedom. All we want is to eat our meals in peace. I feel we've earned it. The liberation was the first time in a while we fought the Red Constellation with such gusto. Well, as far as that goes, you do have our thanks for helping. So, what do you plan to do now? We intend to observe what happens next, until things return to normal. Once we have a handle on what Crossbell's immediate future will look like, we'll find a new headquarters and resume our business. I was afraid of that. It's only natural. Revage is gone and soon the Red Constellation will be out of the door as well. There's never been a better time for Heiyue. This has been long overdue, but after much toing and froing, we are finally nearing our goal of having full control of Crossbell's underworld. And it would not have been possible without the tireless work of our collaborator, Master Yin. Sounds like we're going to have to contend with Heyu again sooner or later then. Perhaps so, but I'm looking forward to it all the same. Just know that if you intend to be the next barrier in our way, Zhao, don't count on being the first one to stop us. I had a feeling you would say something to that effect. But I would hardly call me and my men a barrier in the sense that you know it. Not compared to the chaos in Zemuria, nor the noose to the west that will soon be tightening around Crossbell's neck. A little dramatic, don't you think? Not at all. In the meantime, I wish your team luck in tackling this Azure tree business, Detective Bennings. We of Heyu will be in your corner, over in the shadows, of course. On behalf of Heyu, thank you for all you've done thus far. Our men have already vacated the Sunfort, in case you were curious. We've done all we can to assist you. Best of luck, and do be careful. That reminds me, I've been considering making you another contract offer once this matter is settled. That is, if your availability is open, Miss Mao. It's true that I do owe you a great deal and I do intend to repay you, but even so I cannot commit to such an arrangement at this time. You tell him, Risha. I see. Well, we won't coerce you into it. And as far as recent events are concerned, I consider them a collaborative effort, so you needn't feel indebted to us. Nevertheless, if you insist on making recompenses, I wouldn't turn down S-section seats to an Archon Steel performance. A joke, I assure you. As I mentioned, Heyu requires your strength to fulfill our lofty ambitions. So if purchasing a ticket out of pocket is what it takes for us to be on good terms, then so be it. Becoming enemies may be inevitable, but I look forward to our clashes with the SSS all the same. Master's motto is that everyone is happy on a full stomach. When Ruse and me eventually start our business, everything he's taught us is gonna carry over. I just know it. Every order today comes with an extra large serving and all you can eat rice. Go ahead and chow down, it'll energize you. Should have known Master would insist on opening back up today, even with a freaky tree over in the distance. I've been worried about my mom over in Calvert, but honestly, Urbonia probably has it worse, what with a civil war. I shouldn't be letting my thoughts wander though. More business hours means more time to learn everything Master has to teach. I've had enough of this recent chain of events in Crossbell. No good will come from panicking though. As such, we will remain open. Someone needs to chop that blue tree down so I can go back to running Long Lao in peace. I'm sure working our hardest through this crisis will be a useful experience for the future. Me and Puck plan on opening up a big successful shop one day. But for now, we're gonna focus on what's in front of us. Alright, time to clean this place and it looks brand spanking new. My old man gets all weird when he's not drunk, so I went and bought him some booze. Go back to drinking your whole life away, you worthless old bastard. Vaughn got his dad drunk on purpose. Kinda funny though, huh? Still, I'm kinda gonna miss seeing sober Uncle Bacchus. Oh well. Now just where did that giant tree spring up from? That blue glow is so ethereal, I can only assume it's not of our world. Why, it almost feels like a gateway to Adio's eternal kingdom. All the toughs from the local gangs have banded together to protect the downtown district. We used to have to keep our distance from their little altercations on the square, but it turns out those kids are actually pretty reliable. For the first time ever, we're really coming together as a community. The Bracer Guild allowed me to use the international phone line so I could talk with Armand and Ellie in Liberal. sounds like there's some trouble there too, but nothing compared to what's happening in Urbonia and Calvert. Things are going to be chaotic in Crossbell for a while, but I'm grateful to hear they're all right.
Daddy, are you leaving for work again?
Sure am. Construction site just reopened. I know you must be worried, Lima, but I need you to watch the house with Mommy, okay?
Okie dokie. Have a good day, Daddy. Mwah.
Off I go then. It's a little embarrassing when she does that, but heck if it doesn't keep me motivated. Alright, no time to worry about the what ifs and maybes. Gotta get back out there and continue supporting my family.
Even when everything's all crazy, Daddy still works as hard as he can for us. So I'm gonna do my best to look after the house while he's gone too.
Something about a giant blue tree rubs me the wrong way. My husband works outdoors, so I'm sure he feels just the same. I wish there was some way I could be there for him. But he isn't here. We can rest easy, so long as both of our gangs keep an eye on things downtown. Speaking of which, it's time for us to make another lap around the block. We work with a testament to patrol the city. Patrol the area. If anyone's loitering or getting up to no good, we'll knock them into next week. Where should that tree come from? Hell if I know what's going on anymore. Jed and the others are finally pitching in again. Even if he kinda messed everything up, Walt's still our guy. He's a boss and that means something to us. So make sure you bring him back, okay? We're counting on you. Jed and Luganov are in charge of the gang until Walt gets back. We all gotta stick together if we're gonna keep the Saber Vipers alive. I still haven't forgiven Walt, not for a second. But even then, I gotta admit, the Saber Vipers was some of the best fun I ever had. These guys just looked up to me as one of their leaders. That's the reason enough to keep this place standing. Yeah! Turning my back on all the bullshit out there. No clue what's going on, but ain't got time to care. Woo! Sing all those troubles away. Yeah!
It's like a whole world is ending. But you know what? Seeing that big blue tree makes me want to do my part to help too. Everyone will have a little less to worry about if the city is cleaner. It's up to me to keep these streets clean no matter what it takes. The way I see it, tidying up a place can only lead to something good.
Man, I cannot believe what's going on out there. Makes me wish there was more I could do to give you kids a hand. If only I had some good stuff. Good stuff? I'm talking about the Murian ore, my boy. It's a metal that's sometimes found in ruins from ancient civilization. Over a year ago, some famous professor perfected a process for refining the stuff, made some primo gear out of it. If I could get my hands on some, I'd be able to make you these top-of-the-line weapons I've been drafting up. Heck, that'd be better than anything I've ever built you before, hands down.
You mean they'd be even stronger?
Damn, top of the line is right.
We do have a dire need of greater firepower, given the circumstances.
Well, I could crank them out in the wink of an eye if I just had the materials. I think 5 small shards of the stuff would be enough for one. The Murian ore, huh? I think I actually have some shards that I found earlier. What's that look for? You figure out a lead on where to get a hold of some? In that case, I start prepping to have those weapons made. Talk to me again if you got the Murian ore. 5 shards will work just fine too. I'll go get forging the second you do. Got it. Thanks, Mr. Jerome. Search and leisure. Huh? Is that a time achievement just? Might be. Don't know. Woo! Nothing is a spot like a bit of booze. But still, what the hell's up with a tree? Since when did they make them that big? Should we, you know, do something about this guy being intoxicated in public? Cut the guy some slack. I'd be doing the same thing if I were in his shoes. He got bigger fish to fry. You think that tree leads up to the heavens? It's probably loaded with hot babes and booze. Wait, is Alias a hot babe? Just as the president's arrest, that giant eyesore of a tree pops up. The time is a little too good by my count. And with that barrier down, we're now wide open for the two major powers. Talk about a rock in the hard place. Things are getting interesting around here. It's a good day to be an arms dealer. Figures would be thinking about the bottom line over anything else. Maybe we make a few exchanges ourselves. Business is booming again now that the two major powers are breathing down our necks. Things are getting interesting around here. Hey, you guys know that Black Cat character? Black Cat character? You must be referring to Kagamaru. Yeah, that's the one. I'm looking for merch of his. If you find any, bring one to me, got it? Hood, Shaori, and sandals. A lot of people were sent to the hospital after a mist let up. I tried calling my dad to check in on him, and he actually found time between his busy rounds to pick up. I'm going to do what I can to show him that he's not the only one working hard. I don't know if I ever take the same career path as my dad, but I want to show him that he's not the only one who can work hard for others. Trinity is finally open for business again. The fact that everything's so messed up is exactly why it's important to keep our daily lives going. Serena and Hugo are rooting for me, so I've got to get on the ball and stay there. But they won't let me order. I never would have guessed that Vasi and Abbas belong to the church. Vasi never seemed especially pious, so it's still a little hard to believe. Vasi and Abbas, members of a church. Truth is really stranger than fiction. Alright. Downtown district. So... Sunshine Agnes. Kagemaru, Haori, and sandals can be bought in the Times department store from the clothes and the shoe merchant there, and the hood has to be gotten at the casino. You need 3 each for the Sunshine Agnes. Walking on Sunshine. This Kagemaru match is pretty nifty. It's missing a little something to pull it together though.
Like those katanas we got down in the storeroom, maybe. I should make Van and Bruce wear this stuff with me. Then we can play sword fighter together. Do you really need actual swords for a children's game? I also cannot endorse this misuse of Kagemaru's intellectual property. Don't get in such a twist about it. To think how good they look decked out in all this Kagemaru gear. So, you headed down to the storeroom? Well, alright, I guess you are regular, so I guess it's fine. But don't touch anything, it's not my fault if you have to come back in a body bag. Thanks for the heads up. So, apparently we can go down here now, and there's a cookbook. A book entitled Lively Family Lunches is housed on this shelf. Picnic lunchbox. Oh, it looks to me that all of you are headed somewhere together. Safe travels? Something wrong, sir? I can tell you've been honing your skills as a chef the way I told you to. Very well, today I shall share with you our golden goose, a recipe handed down my family for generations. Zhang Hui snatched the recipe book away, opened it up and began writing. Medicinal mapo tofu. There, accepted. Zhang Hui would be proud. Wow, what a way to fill out the last page of my recipe book. Wait, are you sure it's alright for me to have your secret recipe, Zhang Hui? Ah, yes, spare me your gratitude. The decision was mine, and in my kitchen, my word is the law. Focus yourself not on humility, but on your abilities. The path every chef must walk is an arduous one. Your best cooking lies ahead. Dedicate yourself to your training as you have been, lest you falter. Right, I will. Good. Visit me again when you have the opportunity. I will instruct you properly in the culinary arts. You know, I've been wondering about this for a while now, but you do remember that we never came here to train under you, right? You referred to our misunderstanding months ago? I haven't forgotten. Your path as a chef is a different matter, however. Take a closer look at the recipe book. Right there it says Lloyd Benning's Crossbell Culinary Federation. As a member of the Federation, Long Lao has a sworn duty to teach any who come through our doors with this in tow, plain and simple. This is what you get for not reading the fine print. I never realized we were agreeing to join a union when you gave it to us. Ha! I wasn't even here, but hey, that ain't gonna stop me from updating my resume with pro chef and all this is over though. Might even quit the police and open my own 5-star restaurant. Maybe you should try getting your own notebook first, Randy? Anyway, thanks for all you've done for us, Zhang Hui. Though I still think you went above and beyond what was required. How many times must I refuse your thanks? Imparting my wisdom on bright young men and women is only the right thing to do. Now, as far as your police duties go, my cooking will always be here to energize you. So I would very much like it if you are 8 up so you can get to restoring the peace in Crossbell. Don't make me say this more than once, but I also believe in you children. This is an incredibly convoluted way to get this recipe. Risha and again Wendy. Immortal Maputo. Yamas Poga Tofu. Plus 200 CP or fall to 0 CP and critical HP. To those who faithfully offer dishes, thank you kindly for your bountiful offering to the great Jizo. I moved to this area with my father when I was a child. Every day since I've prayed to the Jizo, growing attached to it over time. Very few people visit this shrine anymore, but the fact that there are still kind souls like yourselves who do brings me much relief.
It's reassuring to know that others share my sentiments. I apologize for this long letter, but please accept this small token of my gratitude. It's a pity we have yet to meet in person, but so long as I'm in good health, I will continue to visit the great Jizo, each and every day. Perhaps it's only a matter of time before our paths cross. An anonymous neighbor. 2 T-Ral bombs were inside the package. We've offered a lot of dishes to this Jizo. They weren't meant to be formal prayers or anything, but it wouldn't hurt to try. Hey guys, since we're already here, why don't we offer a prayer to the Jizo statue before we head out? You know, for luck. I don't see any reason not to. I'm all for it. We could use a little divine favor to help us rescue Kia. The sentiment behind the gesture is well worth the few minutes it will take to make them. A bit of meditation would probably do our morale some good too. So come on, let's get to praying. In Eastern tradition, I believe you join your hands like so? Is this right? There's a lot of customs associated with prayer, but I think it'll be fine if you pray as you would in the church. Sure, I think we can manage that. Everyone put their hands together, closed their eyes, and offered a prayer to the Jizo. Oh dear, my apologies. My hearing isn't what it used to be these days. Could it be? Pardon? I may be wrong, but are you the ones responsible for leaving so many dishes for the great Jizo? Great Jizo, wait a minute. You must be the anonymous neighbor. Why yes, so it is you. To think these offerings came from you adorable little youngsters, I thought for sure it was someone closer to my age. Well, to be fair, we're mostly doing it as motivation to improve our cooking. Man, though, talk about a shocker. You're the old lady we see in the downtown district every now and then, yeah? Given the level of literary sophistication in those letters, I always suspected the author was an older adult. I do apologize for taking up so much of your valuable time with my scrawlings. But to think I was writing to you all along. But this world is always filled with so many lovely surprises. Old Lady Paula faced the Jizo and silently joined her hands. This Jizo has witnessed many trying times throughout Crossbell's history. Once it was even demolished. However, time and again the people of this neighborhood were prepared with great care. People seldom visit us these days, but I'm glad it still holds significance for some. Oh, that reminds me, I have something here that might interest you. Admittedly, it's merely a gift I'm hoping to re-give, but perhaps all of you could appreciate it better. You really don't have to do that. No need to be modest. Consider it a token of my gratitude. Kusanagi. An old friend gave this to me, but I have no use for such things. That Imelda. She's always a trouble when it comes to giving gifts. Farewell then. I would be delighted if you could continue visiting the great Jizo when you have a time. I feel like there's something more to that old man when meets the eye. She was so graceful. I often see her basking in the sun in front of my apartment building. She lives in the downtown district now, but I believe she used to reside elsewhere. I've always thought her quite beautiful though. This is a master quartz. And did she just say she got it from Imelda? She was as kind as she was mysterious. I do recall grandfather mentioning a woman 1 generation his senior who was once regarded as the belle of Crossbell in high society. But surely he didn't mean her, right? Who could have guessed our quick visit would turn into a chance encounter? I don't know about you guys, but I feel ready for just about anything now. Let's go, everybody. Right behind you. Then wär's mir schon amüsant.
one here, of course. My staff and I have returned to check in on the hotel, now that things have settled down in the city. That being said, that enormous blue tree is even more unsettling from up close. Needless to say, Michelin won't be able to reopen like this. That giant tree looms right over this place, but the staff still came to work. That's bravery right there. But me, as soon as I'm finished with maintenance, I'm getting the hell out of here. I heard that Speaker McDowell was one of several who were confined to the state guest house. If it wasn't terrible enough for people keeping them there were the Jaegers who attacked the city. The president has no excuse for any of this, even if it was all in the name of our independence. Things have gotten pretty dusty around here during our absence. That blue tree off in the distance still makes me uneasy, but I do what I can to clean up this place. Been stopping by periodically to clean, so we are ready to open at a moment's notice. I'd be a lot less distracted without the giant blue tree in the distance, well. Those books you have on you. Would they happen to be from the Sunshine Agnes series? I see them around the city from time to time. What do you mean, these novels? They are. Just so happens that we've gathered every volume. Well, isn't that wonderful? I had the privilege of leafing through one of them before. It was quite an insightful read. The story is fiction, of course, but I couldn't help feeling a bit of kinship with the heroine. In any case, I have decided to remain here as a spectator of these events unfolding in Crossbell. That series would make her a lovely bit of light reading to pass the time with. We do have the entire collection. Should we hand it over to her? Here you are, miss. We'd like for you to have these. Oh, are you positive about this? If Lloyd says so, then yes. Most of them we received as gifts anyway. Yep, so go ahead, babe. Read your heart out. If you insist, I'll gladly accept them. It would be rude of me to accept these without offering you anything in return. And I couldn't possibly have that, so please take this. Wait, is this... It fell into my hands some time ago in my other line of work. You may take it if you like, or I cannot say if you find a use for it. Are you sure you're okay with it? Seems like it could be valuable. Oh, it's quite alright with me. After all, I'm but a witness to how this turmoil in Crossbell will unfold. Granting you this small gift should hardly qualify as interfering. Ignore me, I'm simply thinking aloud. Be sure to take good care of it. We will, thank you very much. Never could I have envisioned a tree of that scale appearing out of thin air. Even I'm unable to foresee what happens next. But truth eludes my cards, my crystal ball, and the stars alike. How very intriguing, I can't recall this ever happening before. Just what will become of Crossbell, I look forward to learning the answer for myself. Residential area sealed off? If it's a residential area, there should be people living there, right? How can it be sealed off? And here is the Morian Orchard. And if I... Learn that right, we have now 5 shards and a complete Zemurian ore, so enough for 2 ultimate weapons. Craft weapon. Great jumping Jerram rats. Is that a Zemurian ore? I can make you a weapon like you never seen before with that thing. I can get started right away if you want. What do you say? Sure, let's do it. Now that's what I'm talking about. Can only make one at a time, so think long and hard about what kind of weapon you want. I think I take the weapon for Lloyd. Okay, I'm ready to pick. Can you make use of this one? You got it, pal. Time for my skills to shine. Alright, it's all done. Go on and take a look. Thank you very much, Mr. Jerome. No sweat, detective. Anytime I get to handle material as fine as the Murian ore is a blessing in my book. Use that to help get the situation in Crossbell back under control, you hear? The strong arm of the law. Okay, and... And for whom do I craft the other weapon? Dear Goddess Almighty, did you manage to find 5 folds of Murian ore shots? I can make you a weapon like you never see me for with those things. Let's just take Ellie and be done with it. Okay, I'm ready to pick. Can you make a Swiss one? Okay, but I think I got everything I can. And I guess with that I say until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.